testimony.
Sorry about that, King. Literally took over the whole airways.
Y'all good. This is what I asked for.
Yeah.
You know, that moment in Kansas. One, first and foremost, I think every person that I know of that has had their life taken away from them because of the police literally flashed before my eyes the moment them lights
SubhanAllah, that's the truth.
turned on. Right.
You're talking about our journey back, so they know.
Yeah. I ended up getting pulled over in Kansas. And like I said, every person I could think of that had their life taken, I thought of in that moment. And then from there, I'm literally processing to myself, what am I supposed to do between now and the time they pull up to this window? So trying to figure out. Well, 420 already told me where the registration and stuff was. My wallet is in my back pocket, so I'm trying to hurry up and get that out. Like, I don't want to have to be reaching for anything whatsoever. And then it made it worse for me that they pull up to your side of the window. So I'm like, oh my goodness. It's one thing, for me to be in the line of fire, but to put the individuals that I invited in the line of fire is something completely different. So antennas were really, really up. Now, it wasn't, to start out with, it wasn't as bad as I perceived it was going to be, right? No, honestly, I thought they were going to let us go.
The fact that the second or the third conversation that was taken was 420 saying, why do you have your hand on your gun? Remember that part?
Yeah, when she told me, you need to drive, I open the door, she goes to pull her gun.
Yeah, puts her hand on her gun.
With my kids behind me.
King, that was serious for me.
Yeah. So, I give her the license, registration, and go back. And I'm already knowing, it's taking a little bit too long. And I'm saying to myself, if a second officer pull up, it's about to go up.
It's about to go all the way up.
Guess what? Sarge pulls up.
A second officer ended up pulling up. So now I'm speaking, literally I'm praying in my head, talking to the universe, trying to control my energy and things of that particular nature, just give out positivity. We can keep this.
And this was still pretty early in the morning, huh? Yeah. This was like 6, 7 in the morning.
And besides you, King is being modest. He's driving. He's in the front. I'm on the side. 420. His family, his wife, the girlfriend, and there are 3 kids in the back.
Yeah.
So we got babies in the car too.
Yeah. So, finally, I think it was the sergeant that came to your side of the window. And it was like, it's gonna be a few minutes. And I think the wifey asked if she could go to the bathroom.
His wife, who's African American, asked if she could go to the bathroom.
If it was okay, he said it was okay. And I think it was at that point for me things began to make a turn, or not, because the energy just amplified. From that particular
my woman kind of amplified it a little bit.
Well, you can't blame her. Her experience as an African American woman in America.
Her whole family's been beaten by police.
Yeah.
Brutally.
So I mean, it's justified.
Completely justified.
So I'm trying, the same way that the situation is becoming amplified, I'm trying to amplify my energy. Right. So the female police officer that initiated the stop comes to my side of the window, and she's literally standing not beside where I was at, but maybe a half a step behind. And she's talking to me like I've been lying to her this entire doggone time.
And the other white officers on the other side of us just watching.
Yeah. So saying that my license was suspended. I'm not gonna go into detail as to what for, but I knew it shouldn't have been that way. But she's talking to me like I knew these things, and basically I was trying to get one over on her. And the only thing I keep hearing is, we could literally be taking you to jail right now. So
she said that a lot.
Yeah, like it was a privilege. Like they was
Doing
like,
you a
You
favor.
doing me a favor type of deal. And I'm just like, okay. And so at this point, they're basically saying somebody else has to drive. Lady is getting her ID and stuff together. Alan is getting his together. Well, 420. 420 is getting his together, and he opens the the door. And when I say her hand moved from her side until her firearm clipped open,
Fast.
That's when my energy changed.
Yeah. Yeah, so an argument between them ensues, and the only thing that I'm thinking of is I just want to be able to make it home and press through the mission ahead. That's it.
All I thought about is them shooting me and my kids behind me, because they were directly behind me in the line of fire.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Exactly. That, I mean, that was it. Needless to say, you know, I
God is
guess
good.
it ended up as well as it could be. You know, as you can see, I'm in front of you right now, so I didn't go to jail.
We just gotta go to the DMV.
Yeah, I gotta go ahead. I got some extra work to do, which is fine. You know, the way I see it is something that the universe needed me to take care of anyway. So they use this opportunity to bring it to my attention so that it can be taken care of.
It's something we talked with the kids too. How you respond to police when pulled over, and how police really act.
Exactly.
Oh, they saw it.
Really.
They definitely got an experience.
But we was able to drive away. I think later on it kind of shook me up and made me a little bit more aware of the rest of the trip. It didn't change the energy, it didn't change the energy, at least not for me. And we still had some great conversations.
No,
Oh,
energy
right.
didn't change. I'm just gonna avoid Kansas. I'm gonna try to drive around it when I can.
But there was a moment when we was in the store, and I think you bought me something to drink.
Oh, that was so sad to me.
And
That was so sad to me.
you know, I'm about to go pay for my stuff.
Was that when we pulled up down the street and the sheriffs pulled up in front of us?
Yes. Yes.
I hadn't even said anything about that piece yet. You know, the sheriff pulled up, and they pulled directly in front of me. I'm like
literally,
man.
both
Like
of
it
us
was
touched his
just,
shins.
it was just too so much.
Did they send their people to come back and get me?
Mm-hmm.
So you know, I walked.
We was ready to leave Kansas. Like Dorothy, we don't belong here.
I walk, you know what I'm saying, a few paces away from where they at, and I'm like, okay, if they walk over in this direction, I know they on some BS. But they got out of the car, they spoke, and then went on the inside.
Oh, the energy changed then too, because I remember my girl, she said, I don't care about these sheriffs, and whooped her son's ass in front of these sheriffs.
Oh, yeah.
She gives no cares.
Oh yeah.
That is not playing no games.
Oh yeah, she is.
She's a real mama.
A true traditional black mama.
We wouldn't have it no
Did
other
not
way.
care at all.
Oh yeah, y'all
No
see her
one.
snatch him up too.
Snatch him up, and no matter where, when,
I
or
saw
how.
the Matrix.
We was like, was there a kid there?
Oh,
He said, boy,
man.
get over
Once
it.
it was one moment he was there, the next moment he was gone. I was like, oh my goodness. I remember getting snatched up like that when I was a kid, man.
That's what I
Goodness
love
gracious.
about her though. She's like that with me. She's
Snatch you up, and get
protective
you.
of me.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. That's what we love. But King, I think that the story you need to tell is really powerful because it brought an awareness to me that I you know, I'm a woman, but so I'm never gonna view it from your eyes. Plus, I'm Mexican, so I view it from a different eyes anyway. Now, as an African American, of course, I still have liberties because of the color of my skin. You know, people still accept me in other places. It's just the true reality. It sucks, but that's why we have racism.
Yeah.
So I know that there's privileges I get and other people get that necessarily a lot of people won't have. So recognizing that I'm not going to have the same experiences as you, I know this. But to actually have one with
You know, I honestly thought that was going to happen to us in the South, not in Kansas.
but you know, to have one with you like that, and you know, if you want to.
Yeah, so lady bought me something to drink. And you know, she paid before I did. I was still looking for a few other items, and I was getting in line, and she handed me my drink, and it was like, it's already paid for. And before she could really even walk away, I gave it back to her. Wanna know why I gave it back to her? Because I already knew that even though she had already paid for this drink, that if I would have walked up there with this and tried not to pay for it, it was going to be an issue. And so I already had to deal with the police one time.
And there was 2 sheriffs outside.
Already outside.
Yeah.
Literally outside.
So I gave it back to him. I was like, look, hold on to this until we get out.
And I was confused, like,
God, we had
why?
an adventure. I forgot about the overturned truck.
Oh,
We had an adventure, people.
yeah.
So so I just thought, I mean, just really quickly, you know, being able to like you said, when I
Almost
went
blew
to
up by a tanker truck.
but like I was saying, when you got there and you were in line, you know, and I was handing it to you, it wasn't until the moment when you was like, I can't take this. I can't. And I'm like, what do you mean you can't take this? What are you talking about? I paid for it. And it just hit me. It hit my heart. It hit my logic. It hit my understanding. Like that all moment, like I said, boom, dummy. And I'm like, wow. Not only on top of did I see how they acted when we got pulled over, I already knew. We already knew certain things. But that's expected. Like we expect that now. That's how sad it is.
Yeah.
We expect, like I'm like, King, let's trade. He's like, I ain't moving until everybody else starts moving. Till I get my license back. That's what you said.
That's a
he
partial explanation of white privilege. How white folks don't have to deal with these things.
Right. Exactly. So, but what I'm saying is psychologically, I was already set up for certain things which shouldn't even have to happen. But that shows you right there what we're living in. But on top of that, when he was like, I said, okay, King, get out so we can switch because I'm getting ready to drive. On top of that, he's like, I can't, you know what I'm saying? I'm not moving yet. Any movement would have been like fatal.
Well, as you see, when I opened the door.
As you see. So I just thought that was just, I mean, it was just, it's what's going on.
Yeah, so. It was definitely, that last 6 hours of our trip was definitely intense because like 420 said, we trying to get back onto the E-way and it's a whole gasoline truck flipped over, gas pouring out.
They had just came from the gas station. And then we tried to go around it. Them smarties talking about drive around it.
Well, I thought there was an edge we could have gone around, but
there was no getting around that. I was just happy that the individual that was driving the truck was able to get out and he was safe. He was far away from the incident.
Yeah, we was almost in a Bruce Willis movie.
Yeah.
And then also on the trip, since we're talking about the trip a little bit, and we're talking about we had some great signs, you know what I'm saying? I learned a little bit about, you know what I'm saying, my signs and stuff. Shout out to Rika out there. It says, I was born at 9:38 a.m., sis. I found it.
Oh, I forgot to send you that number. I got you.
Okay. So yeah, I was trying to get your number from him yesterday, so I'm telling you now, sis, I got you, 9 in the morning. So I thought anyway, we just learned a lot, and it was just a wonderful experience.
Fireflies in Kentucky. I've never seen a firefly before.
Yeah.
Was it like 11, 12 o'clock in the morning? What time was it? We were like in the middle of the night. We're catching fireflies.
It was at night. It was probably about like 7, 8 o'clock.
Was it?
Stopped.
No, it was dark. It was dark because you could see them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like 9, 8.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't. Yeah, something like that. But I forgot because we were in Kansas. Hours change and time changes.
Mm-hmm.
But it was wonderful. We got fireflies for the kids. They got a caterpillar that's getting ready to turn into a butterfly.
I just liked it because I got to show my stepsons men. And men can release, and it's okay for men to cry.
And the women want it. We're here for it. That's the things we can give easily is compassion, understanding.
It was definitely a lot of tears shed over the weekend.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I told you, I still am. I'm still releasing. It's still coming. There's so much buried in there from 45 years of trauma. There's things I forgot about that are coming up.
Yeah.
I think you always say it best when you say you got to tap in. Once you tap into that inner child, you just got to. And that's what.
I didn't have a childhood. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's what you.
What I'm tapping into is pain.
Yeah.
That inner child is in there.
It is.
It's in there once you get to them, you know.
Netta says that's me now. I'm a child.
She gonna be saying that till you die. Netta gonna be saying that till you die, bro.
Oh man, that's something else though. It was just a great experience, man. For me,
it had to happen.
For
Definitely.
me, I think you know, I talked about you and Tank last night on the show. And how inspiring that was, but just to have so many people around me that are, in essence, lifting me up, because that's how I felt.
Facts.
That's how I felt.
Me too.
Tank,
Still feeling it. I
Tank
love
out
it.
there, he's talking. Tank, keep smiling. Just keep smiling. He tells us, Justina and King, first time I've been out and smiled in a long time. 8 years to be exact. And not ending up having to beat someone or fatally neutralize a situation. Thank you, my brothers and sisters.
First of all, Tank, we was at that one club. There was a few people I saw you wanted to utilize. I said, oh, if they bump into this man's leg one more time, he about to beat somebody up. I'm gonna have to help him. So
well, hold on, let me tell y'all how petty my brothers are, right? And
I love it though. We get them. That's why we get
I
them
love
so
them to
well.
death. So
Love them to death.
you know, me and Trail, we go upstairs because I think and you lady and my sister had already walked upstairs.
We was
or whatnot.
relaxing.
So we was going to check on them. All right, Trail gets a phone call saying that Chris had just got hemmed up by the police because he was trying to bring his gun into the club.
Oh, another police situation.
And when I say we bailed out so doggone quick,
Me and your sister looking around like, well, I don't know where everybody went.
we running down the stairs, hitting, skipping stairs, every other thing else. We get outside. I see Chris walking across, and he got this big old smile on his face. And then here comes Lamar and David. I can't say on air what I want to call y'all right now. But here comes Lamar and David rolling. I mean, these jokers is laughing so hard. And I'm just like, y'all are petty than a mother. We out here thinking that we about to send Virginia up. Lord, now, cause I'm from Virginia, I know how the police are out there. I'm like, okay, let's get it cracking. Mind you, I got on one of my white dashiki, some white slides and everything. I'm about to come out of everything like, no, it's not going up like this, just to get down there. And these jokers just playing a prank. I was like, y'all petted them up, but they knew and they understood that if it was gonna go up, hey, we was going down together. We was going down together. It was not happening or not, but you know, it was a great experience, and I think that night was one of the best nights for me because I know what Tank it is, what he's saying. He's being really modest. He's being really modest as far as being the first time him being able to go out, smile, and things of that particular nature. We talking about a single father of 6.
Can't even imagine.
Single father of 6 that, in essence, is paralyzed. So, I mean, I was happy. If nothing else would have taken place that weekend, just to be able to see him have fun. Then the next day, I talked to 420, and he telling me about going to the beach and the first time for the kids and all this other stuff. And I'm like, man, if nothing else happens, I'm satisfied with this. I'm satisfied with this. So, I mean, Tank said they would have had a brawl.
Oh yeah, it would have been. We all would have been in that bad boy.
Yeah.
Also, King, I think that's important for us ladies. Is I was blessed with being able to see the other side. I'm such a skeptic about men because of my journey and the things that I've experienced. My windshield is definitely damaged. I definitely got cracks in there, no doubt. I'm okay with that. But to see men, strong men, they got honor to them. They really out here being about what they in around situations where they're not hitting on no women. They're not out here worrying about no women. They're not out here. Now, mind you, I'm still the sis world with everybody. So everybody's doing whatever they want to do. Am I lying, King?
Yeah.
We all were on a trip where everybody's grown. Everybody does what they want to do. One of my brothers brought their girls with their wife. The other brother, you know what I'm saying? Whatever they did, their situation, but they were real. That was their situation. No games, no playing. They ended up dancing together, like doing an electric type of slide stuff. Like when they say they're really not out here doing assumption, what we think as women, I really learned, King.
I tell that to Netta all the time.
But I really learned,
Y'all
King.
think
No,
we're
but
always chasing hoes,
listen, it's different when a woman can see it and say it. A man's gonna say it all day.
I'm trying to tell you, we do dumb shit.
And I know that, but what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, for a woman to be able to break down those type of walls that they built, because that's what they've used to, and say, oh, I'm going out and then going back and doing these different things, and they really aren't out here
That's
doing
what we
that.
needed, is a woman to witness that.
So what I'm saying is that I'm just grateful that I was in that position, that I promise you, ladies, there are, and I'm, you know what I mean, I'm doing it lightly, because, you know, I'll be quick to go back if I'm proven wrong and say something now. But there are good men out here.
Yeah.
And I just was really blessed. So I thought that was significant.
Yeah, and you was on it. You was on it the whole night. I think.
Yeah, I was watching everybody. I'm watching
I tried.
everybody see like this. Is he true? Is he true? Is he true? I was, ladies. So
I tried to slip through. I tried to slip through the club, real nice and gingerly like, and definitely got snagged up on the way in. And the graceful queen stepped in the wifey's shoes and was
true. I did say something.
And definitely said something in reference to it, even though, you know.
But it was brothers and the thing about it is, if he can check me, I want to be able to check him. Not because it's about checking, but it's about love. And if we're really going to be about this journey and to be about this path and say we about these things, then we have to represent outside. Mm-hmm. And he wasn't even doing anything wrong. I promise, ladies, he was literally walking through, minding his business. Somebody grabs his arm. I'm watching the whole thing. I'm watching all my brothers because I want to see who's true and who's not. Because that's, you know, this is what happens when you meet people.
Yeah.
You're done meeting the representative. I want to meet you. So we out. This is a great opportunity. So anyway, she grabs him. Like, and I'm like watching it like, and we across the room, I said, That's why if his wife is complaining, this be why, right? So I'm thinking in my mind, what's he gonna do? Honestly, he really didn't know what to do. And at that point, I was like, do any of us step in and go rescue him? Like, this is what I was watching. Now, everybody else is still doing their own thing. Mm-hmm. King, you know what I'm saying? You just started dancing with her for a little bit, kind of like smiled and, you know, did your little thing for like 2 seconds. Mm-hmm. But that was it, and then you left. You know what I mean? And then you left. Honestly, that's what happened. But that was, to me, you know, like I said, we got a lot that's riding on the things that we're saying. Yeah. So that was it. But yeah, I was like, I'm watching everybody.
I danced the whole night. I mean, literally, I danced the whole
day, and they were dancing, doing electric slides. They were just having a good time. But I want to say too, shout out to my brothers. I appreciate that because I went somewhere walking. I think I left for a minute. Everybody watched. Where's Lady at? Where you know me? So get back to Lady. You just can't do it.
What y'all have to understand is that I'm from Virginia, right? So when we talking about reggae and go-go music, to be home and hear them drums again.
He was gone. He was in his own zone. Yeah, he was.
Oh my goodness. I didn't need nobody to dance.
He sure did.
I didn't need anybody to dance with me whatsoever. When that
he did his own, I promise you. He's not lying. He was in there by himself doing his thing. I said, okay. That's when you know that God gives you the simple things. Just, you know what I mean? As blessings, you can enjoy it. So there definitely was so many experiences. What happened?
No, I'm looking at Tank. He talking about, I think there's still cuts in the rugs from you dancing.
Facts. From you, King. He talking about you.
Yeah. I mean, it felt good. For me, it felt great. You know.
I'll go next time. Y'all haven't seen me turn up.
Oh, man.
Yeah, we good because I did a little bit of turn up. They was like, go ahead. I said, ooh, this a lot. I'm doing a lot out here right now.
I think you was coming from the beach at that particular point in time.
Yeah, you were still at the
beach.
It
was still.
You got what? The kids.
Still, but for me, like I said, to have that many individuals around me that I know without a shadow of a doubt love me, have my back, and support the vision. Support the vision. And everybody keeps saying my vision, my vision. No, it's not my vision, it's ours. It's ours. You know, I guess was fortunate enough to have it be given to me. So, I mean, this has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do about all of us. And to see so many people volunteer their time. Let me tell y'all, I don't care about how much money you can provide to a person. When you have people that are willing to invest their time in what it is that they believe in reference to you, and I'm talking about for free, that is something. So I was blown away in so many different aspects. To watch, like I said last night, Tank come through every single day. Every single day. To see y'all, you on 420, and his family traveled 24 plus hours to come and be there to be a part of it. That was big for me, and then all my brothers, you know, I'm accustomed to them, but it was so much more, you know. And now I'm gonna tell you, they did their job in reference to trying to get me to be emotional. They got it out eventually,
Yeah.
or not, but to listen to their thoughts and their feelings in reference to the book by itself, and the Bebop program as a whole is something else. So I know everybody's trying to figure out what in the world is they talking about in reference to Bebop. Don't look. I'm about to get back on the road when it comes to this. I took a hiatus, you know, now for about a year and a half. I did some stuff online, things of that particular nature, but it's different when you have the opportunity to go and sit in front of people face to face and do the presentation that way. Like I said in the beginning, we're not here trying to provide you with hope. We have plenty of people out here trying to provide you and give you hope. That is not what it is we're doing. We're here to give not a solution, but the solution. It is the solution for today and the answer for tomorrow. That's literally the slogan. So, yeah, we about to get it and get with it. I mean, probably going to set something up with the Hyatt and do a presentation maybe in September on some time frame. I know the next big thing that I have my focus on is the rite of passage. The rite of passage, because I believe that is big, especially when we're talking about healing and things of that particular nature. For me, that is huge, because we have a lot of us out here, men, and that haven't been through that rite of passage or had that man to knight us as being men. So we're gonna get that out of the way so we can grow and build and be the men that y'all ladies out there need us to be. And that's what it is that we're looking forward to. Man, I'm still feeling the energy right now. I really am. Trying not to get emotional. I'm not gonna do it. Not today.
Not today.
Not today. I'm not gonna do that, because we got some stuff that we need to talk about. We need to pick up. I ain't gonna say per se pick up where we left off at. We still gonna be talking about the same general conversation, but just in a different manner. So we gotta pay some bills. We done roll through. We went like 40 minutes straight without no commercials. I know we got bill collectors looking like,
Yeah,
what is y'all
and
doing?
we just got back from a real trip.
What are
They
y'all
coming.
doing? But look though, we're gonna go ahead and take about a 5-minute break and put the court into a quick recession so everybody can go ahead, grab your coffees, grab whatever it is that you need. If you're at work right now, you already know what it is. If you haven't already slid to your office, your cubicle, or wherever it is that you slide to listen to this show, go ahead, slide over there, and we're really going to deep dive into everything here in a moment. So give us about 5 minutes. I need to go grab me some water or something. Well, no, I'm a bit parched.
Are you parched?
Well, you already know what it is. The King has spoken. We'll be right back.
I ain't running brothers more.
And we are back. King's Court is officially back in session. About to knock out this second half. We will get into a little bit of
About to
conversation.
turn up.
Of course, always. For those of y'all that are accustomed to seeing me in my one of my shikis, today I had to represent the game store.
Shout out.
Big shout out to my man D out there doing his thing. He actually sent me some jerseys out here. So guess what, Colorado? Yeah, I have jerseys out here for sale. So y'all gonna have to hit us up.
Definitely.
Hit us up. Y'all see what it is. I got that throwback Elijah wine. Yes.
You know what? Let me tell you something. Is jerseys like women's, like maybe purses, or equivalent to women's, like, I don't know, getting our nails done? Because their jerseys were like super dope. You know what I mean? Like all the men in my circle, they all had one. You guys wore them all, and everybody was like, I got the. I guess it's like a cute outfit or something that we would equivalent to that. I was like, girl, did you get those, that bodysuit?
Yeah, that's it.
All right,
That's it.
I can see the excitement there.
And the more official it is, when I say official, I'm talking about them throwbacks, that you know that don't nobody else have.
He got all those.
Yeah,
All
he got all of them. But he just got in the J. Cole or.
But not even that, and his prices are great, and his
Yeah.
quality is good, and I mean all of that. So you guys got to tap in, and you're supporting a black-owned business, which is very, very important in our communities.
Got
We gotta
6XL
support.
Yeah, he can get any size, any size.
Yeah, so shout out to him. We'll get a commercial on here for him. You know, we'll
we'll
run
do
something for him.
something.
Yeah.
We'll do something for him. But you already know what it is. We have been talking about the unit. Yeah, we've been talking about the unit, but I can't even remember the title. It's been so long. It feels that way. But the inner workings of the unit. You know, and before we can get to the inner workings of the unit, we have to get to the inner workings of ourselves. The inner working of ourselves. And what we have been talking about for the last, I would say, 2 weeks is literally what it takes for us to be able to function properly within a unit. One of the biggest things is what we've been talking about, clearing out those skeletons and those elephants in the rooms, knowing thyself. Knowing thyself. We experienced that over the weekend. I know one of the skeletons that I threw out there was one that I had already dealt with, and it was still emotional. And so I know from experience that the process is not necessarily a pleasant one, but it's a necessary one. It's a necessary one. And to be quite honest with you, where I'm at right now is the skeletons that are connected to me personally. Yeah, I done kind of got through the majority of that process. You know, still pulling on the Most High, the universe, and things of that particular nature to see if there's any more in there that I might have missed. But now the focus is turned towards those skeletons that were passed on to me from parents, grandparents, things of that particular nature. That way, when I say I know myself, I mean literally, I know myself. And I've hit some hard ones. I've hit some hard ones. I think I talked about on the Wise Men edition. I talked about how my mother was raped long before any of us were actually born, and the inner workings of that particular situation made me feel as though I shouldn't have been here at all. You know, it took a lot of strength for her to stay in the situation that she was actually in, and to know that there were family members that were involved made it all the more worse. You know, so having to deal with that skeleton within itself, you know, and looking at her strength and understanding where I get a portion of my strength from, you know, was big. And being able to look at that particular situation, although for a moment I felt as though I didn't belong on this earth, like I should have never been here. Being able to turn it to this, your purpose is real type ordeal, you know, and gain strength from that. How you doing, Miss Yolanda? Yeah, you missed a whole lot, but you're here. Man, they had these jokers listed as top fans. You see this? We're gonna have to do something for you and Rika.
Exactly. That's love, though. That's the
We're gonna have to
energy.
do something for you and Rika.
We sure. But I already told them they can come. Come on, Rika. She already knows she can go to my house. We can hang out.
And you know, Miss Yolanda, where are you watching from, Miss Yolanda? I know you're not in Colorado. I believe she's like in South Dakota or something like that.
Oh yeah, we definitely appreciate
that tells you a lot about what's going on here at the frequency.
And then it tells you a lot about that people are getting tired.
Yeah.
They're tired of being sick and tired. You know what I'm saying? So people are looking for different outlets that's not saying the same things, that's doing the same things, saying the same things, and expecting different results. That's insane.
Yeah.
So now people are tapping into other things that might be outside of what you normally would figure as normal, because we've been so deluded in what normal is. That you don't even know normal when it's looking at you in the face, because you're so abnormal. But they telling you, you know, just explaining it sounds crazy. So,
Yeah.
but what I wanted to say, King, is a lot of times the universe will manifest where you are.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me give you how I know that you're close or following what I think is what you said about your ancestors jumping into generational situation now that you're going to start overcoming generational skeletons, is the fact that you are encountering now before you were encountering some other things dealing with what you were on, now you're encountering situations like the police where this is where the ancestral skeletons come in.
Yeah.
So I know you're in tune with what you're talking about because it's making sense in what's going on around you. So now you've jumped into one, now you're on another level. So like you said, you definitely are in that ancestral awakening because those are some of the things that literally they faced. So, trying to, I guess, work through that like we did. And I mean, I don't know, but yeah, that's deep.
Yeah, it's the exact same process. I just know that when it's all said and done, the freedom that we will have to be able to operate and function and the fullness of our power is going to be something else. And if we all embark on this journey, especially together, it's just going to make for an even better process of becoming who we're meant to be as a people. And I'm excited about it. I really am. I'm excited about it. I know I still have other things I need to work on internally as well.
Nobody's going to be on this earth and not work on stuff.
No.
That'd be
No,
crazy.
but we was talking about it on the way home.
Like, my windshield is definitely cracked. And I'm okay with that.
That situation with the police directly, literally brought up one of those things that stay in the back of my mind. We talked about it. We talked about it in reference to my daughter. And yes, I have a daughter out there that literally, I think I've seen one time in the last, I don't even know how many years it is now. But that is definitely one of those situations that I'm going to have to deal with at some period point in time. I'm hoping and praying that it will happen before she actually turns 18. But if not, that is something that I'm preparing myself for. Scam Likely. Big shout out to Scam Likely.
They call me more times a day than that's how you know I ain't got a man. When Scam Likely is my big. Okay, I need to get. Okay, y'all. Yeah.
Low key, that is my top favorite for real. Scam Likely.
I said whoever that is, he calls me more times a day than anybody else. But so anyway, I just that was just deep. I thought that was significant. There's just a lot of things you said. So.
Yeah, but that's where we at with it. Before we can really get into this thing, as far as creating and being a part of a unit, there are several things that we have to look at and address within ourselves. Otherwise, it's just simply not going to work. What we know, what we have seen of operating and functioning within a unit, it needs to change because there are so many things within it that carries negativity.
So when you say unit, King, just so we're clear with the audience, what do you mean? Because see, your unit might not necessarily be like my unit. So, because we like to know exactly what you mean when you say unit.
So I said we're all about changing the narrative on this show, right? And for me, polygyny or poly within itself has a negative connotation, to it. So I prefer to call it a unit.
So when you're talking about unit, you're not just talking about the male and female relationship. You're talking about a dual, multiple relationship.
Yeah, a man with literally multiple wives.
Because a man that's going to answer questions is going to answer differently if he's talking about plural people than if he's just talking about one.
Yeah. Okay. The first thing as a man that you have to look at is if you can't deal with yourself, how are you going to deal with just one other?
True.
And if you haven't reached into the inner workings of yourself or whatnot, how can you deal with multiple others?
So, quick question, insert explanation for you. Does a man automatically know? When will you say a man knows if he only wants one or not? Do you know you in all your life, or if you're monogamous or not? Like some men say, like, I'm monogamous. You know what I mean? Some men say I'm not. Like what age or when do you know? Or do you just come out always knowing? 420?
I don't think it's one of those things where you always know.
Okay.
I don't think it's one of those things that you always know. I know for me, like before 2017, we wouldn't have been having this conversation. I mean, my thoughts on it was completely different during that particular time. But literally, low key, it was the last piece of BBOC. Literally, it was the last piece of BBOC that I had to insert. So I had to, I was already familiar with it. I already done the research and all that other good stuff in reference to it. And it's crazy because in the midst of doing the research for BBOC, that is one of the things that I saw in just about every culture. Just about every culture and every successful nation, it was there. It was there. It's just a matter of how it was implemented. Scam like you got you too.
They won't even believe that.
It's in nature.
And the energy is us.
It's in
You see
nature.
the energy? You have to put what
Lions
you
do
want.
it.
Isn't that crazy? That's the energy.
Yeah.
And lions will even, the two women will
That's
band
crazy.
together if they get tired of doing it, say, look, you ain't acting right, you gotta move along.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's happened. I've been in a situation where I called my co-wife and she called me crying like, he's not at home. I said, let me call him.
Yeah.
I'm
man,
serious.
I think that's the key that we're
That's really
missing. Everything that we know about it to this particular point, especially nowadays, is based off of ideology. It's literally based off of ideology, but we forget that nature is the greatest teacher out there. So it literally teaches us how to do this thing and how it should look and how it should be done correctly. But in order to do that, like I said, there are things that internally we have to deal with. And we have to deal with because, quite frankly, if we deal with it on the surface level,
I can never do it. I don't have the temperament to try to do it.
And that's what I'm saying. I respect that. Like
No way.
a woman can respect a man on whatever. There's one thing for certain, two things for sure. She's gonna respect him on his stance, whether it is for it or it's not, whether her own is, because we're made to do that. So it's whatever. But I was just more curious. Do you change sometimes with your time too? You might
Yeah, you do.
you might start off in the beginning. I'm this way, and then you later change your views. Because every 7 years we're going through some change. Sometimes
I only
change
want
is
one
human
woman,
nature.
but I'm still a man. I still
You might look
visually,
or,
I fantasize
men
about other
love
people's
visual.
stuff that's there.
We are definitely we're touchy feely. Women like
yeah.
men like men visual. A lot of it is.
I know
just
for
what it is.
me,
That's why we leave the lights on and y'all be turn them off.
I mean,
Turn off the lights.
for me, do I have the ability to be solely monogamous? Very much so. Very much so. But I believe for my journey, it requires it. It requires it. And this is not on something that's selfish type of deal, which is the reason why I want to change the narrative, because I believe that there are some men out there that focus a little bit more on control. And I'm not just talking about employee relationship, I'm talking about monogamous relationships as well. Your focus should be on the both of y'all working in the fullness of yourself and being able to amplify each other. Being able to amplify each other based off of the relationship. I just know and understand for the journey is required. Very much so required. And that's the reason why I say once you know yourself, you're going to understand what it is that you need. And from that need is going to become a want, because you see clearly where it is that you're actually going. And that's how it is for me right now. Like I know exactly where I need to get to and what it's going to take to actually get there. And it's not per se solely about me. It's for everyone that is connected to me. For me, there's something different about covenant commitment than just soul commitment. Like with all the people that were around me this weekend or whatnot, everyone I feel as though they're committed to the cause. They're committed to it. But it's something different when that person has a covenant and it still has that commitment. Because at any period point in time, a disagreement or something of that nature could come about and people just walk away. But when you have that covenant, it's different because you have to work. You have to work through things.
Yeah.
You just have to. So
That's powerful.
I'm looking at her like she got something that she want to say right now.
No, I just wait. I'm just gonna wait my turn. Just joking.
But seriously, there's a lot that we have to address and we have to encounter. Do I feel like men know off the bat? I believe some do. It's just, and that's what it was that I was talking about over the weekend, is being able to explain our truth to you as women, because y'all need it. It's a lot of y'all sitting in monogamous relationships with men that literally they're struggling right now. And they're struggling with their truth, which is that they're not.
I mean, you know what I have to say? I have to say that, what's powerful is that I'm coming from a woman's perspective, and what I'm seeing is like, what's happening is that with the men's healing process, right? Of course, we're healing as well, because I'm taking some of these same pointers that you're giving to the men, and I'm applying them to myself, because I see where they're needed. But as I'm doing that, I'm pulling up my own skeletons and I'm healing my own self, and I see that as I'm healing myself, where I so can interact with a healthy male, like where as a lot of my skeletons are coming out and I'm healing, I see where we can actually, a man and a woman that are both on a healthy path can complement each other. Like I really see where it matters to be on the same journey, the same path. It's just a lot of it's the energy too that's going to be used. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So when you men are healing, you're allowing us to be able to use those things, those qualities, compassion, understanding, all those things that we got to kind of bury, because we got to be the man and the woman.
Mm-hmm.
But as you're healing, you're taking some of those responsibilities off of us. So as those responsibilities coming off us, those other qualities that you all love and enjoy about us can start coming out too, without being so tied down and scary. Because a compassionate woman out here right now in 2021 is dangerous. You start feeling compassion, you're gonna have 3 men sleeping on your couch, 3 men trying to eat all the fruit snacks up. I'm just saying. Do you see what I'm saying? Being compassionate, being way too compassionate. Ladies, we can't afford that. So as the men heal, they give us the room to be the greatness and the beauty and the things that they're looking for as well, but we can see back in ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So, like I said, I've just had so many experiences since we've been back in my own skeletons. And ladies, what we got to do as well, and I'm going to just take this second, is stop allowing people to label us without knowing our own truth about ourselves.
Yes.
And we've done that a lot. I literally, and I had to call King, this morning I came and told you this little thing about how I've had men my whole life tell me that I'm insecure and it's women. You know what I mean? You're jealous of women. You're jealous of women. And I'm only saying that because the 2 predominant men in my life, because I never had a father, was my first husband I was married to for 15 years, and then my second husband I was married to for almost 5, right? So, and these are the men I have the children with. I've always been married. I chose to have all my children with a lot, just because there's a certain type of, I feel like an energy with that I carried. So anyway, looking forward, all my life, with these 2 men, I've been in strong relationships. And because of my weakness and me not knowing myself and being unsure of who I am, because I never had a father enforcement or a father in my home, my mother's single, did it herself, is the fact that I allowed them to label me insecure. I allowed to label me, you're just jealous of these women. And I grew up always feeling like women were my issue. It wasn't until the other day that I put 2 and 2 together, like my duality when we were talking about that I was driving, that I realized and it was just me going back in my thoughts, nobody even talking. How can I be jealous of women be my issue? I'm insecure, I'm jealous of women, because this is what always men told me I was. When I was in polygamy, I was a first wife and a second wife. So I didn't have, women couldn't be my issue. So I go back, then it hit my heart. It wasn't the women, it was the men telling me that there was resentment there. Because I had been in both situations. I had been faithful and I had been strong and I'd raised those children. They were out. They both had got caught cheating. So that was both their scenarios. It is what it is. Like I said, I forgive them and all of that, but I never did those things. And I can stand in front of everybody and say that. And I know that to be the truth. So I never did those things to any of them, both those relationships. So what I'm saying is that I allowed other people's truths that they wanted to be about me, wasn't even about me, and I let it become me. And it wasn't. And when I opened up my eyes and I started trying to repair my own windshield that's cracked up, I realized that, and it wasn't until yesterday, that I realized it wasn't even the women, because I don't really have a problem with women like that. It was the resentment I felt that he was out while I was home with these children, raising these children, taking care of this household, and he was out doing whatever he wanted. And the resentment of him becoming great and me feeling like I was just a housewife taking care of the kids. So it was just so much wrapped up. It was just an arm moment. Yeah. So don't let other people label you. And if they did label you, take a look at what they're saying about you and go back in your life and see if it matches up. Because I just literally looked at it and said, wait a minute, this don't match up. And then, I thought that was significant.
No,
I thought that was deep. So I was all passionate in it. I forgot to, but anyway, I'm sharing it with people. But
you know how I know it was significant because of the glow.
Oh yeah, that's
because of the glow.
Yeah, because that was one of those heavy skeletons. I didn't even. And it was a conversation me and my daughter were having that it even came out.
And I think that's something that we don't realize is that some of those skeletons are literally clouding the glow, the inner glow that's within us, and as we shed them, that glow becomes brighter. It literally becomes brighter. So
because you walk in lighter physically. Yeah. I promise y'all. Everyone's like, "Lady, what you do on your trip?" I was like, "Trust me, it was a little bit stressful. We had some encounters, but it's what I'm doing after the trip. So take what we got from the trip. That's when you're really grateful for your knowledge or what you've experienced, because you want to share with everybody. You know it to be the truth.
Yeah, exactly. I know for me, one of the epiphanies that I did get on the trip was my wife used to always talk to me about accepting her for who she is, right?
Oh, that's wonderful. Yep.
And, I listened and I felt like I heard what it was that she was saying, but until I started addressing men in reference to being able to speak their truth about themselves, and understanding that there's a certain amount of acceptance that's going to be needed with this.
Both sides, yeah.
Yeah, us accepting ourselves for who we are, and then ladies, you accepting us for who we are. That's when those words that she was speaking to me, where I really truly felt the heart of it. And don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted like I'm out here not accepting my wife for who she is. No, it was something deeper than that. It was something so much more deeper than that. I see a lot of greatness in her. And it was that peace that I was accepting more than anything else. Not realizing that the pieces of her that I guess you could say I wasn't accepting is what's going to make her into what it is that I actually see in her. So I had to understand that I had to accept her in her fullness, even right now at this particular moment. Because you know what? The same way that I'm going to accept her in her fullness, I'm going to need her to do the exact same thing for me. And that's a necessity on both ends, which is the reason why I was talking about earlier in reference to the control factor. For us men, it's not about controlling whatsoever. It's more so governing. And in the midst of doing that, we have to ensure that y'all, ladies, can function and operate in your fullness. And we have to understand exactly what that is and what it means. And for us men, we're going to have to set that pride to the side just a tad bit, because her fullness might be greater than yours. Let's just throw that out there. her fullness might be greater than yours.
I'm about to say it got quiet. I hear y'all in there. I don't even hear nobody now.
Her fullness might be greater than yours,
Right.
so you're going to have to accept that. You're still governing, you're still responsible for the household and things of that particular nature, but you have to give her the ability to fly and fly freely. We can't sit back and try and contain them into this little box when you know and everybody else around her knows that she is meant for so much more. They have to be able to operate in their fullness. Our job is to ensure that we amplify whatever it is that they're supposed to be doing. And it's the same on the opposite end. Your job is to amplify whatever it is and that they are meant to actually do. It's no more than a speaker, right? That speaker has the ability to get the message out of whatever it is that they're actually talking about. It has the ability to do that. But when you put that amplifier to it, it just expands that sound even more. Expands that sound even more. So that's literally what we should be doing for each other, allowing each other to function and operate in our fullness and just amplifying it. Just amplifying it. Which is, again, it goes back to the skeletons in the closet. Being able to know thyself, get those skeletons out of the closet, push them elephants out of the doggone room so you can know yourself, understand what it is that you need, know what it is that you want, and have a clear vision on where it is that you're actually going. Why is that important? So that we don't waste anybody's time. We don't waste anybody's time whatsoever. You know where you're going, you know where it is, know what it is that you're trying to do, so you find someone and that you will have the ability to amplify naturally. And they will be able to do the same for you in return naturally as well, because why? You find someone. Sorry. You good. Why? Because you're both headed in the same direction. The last thing that you want is that after you come off of cloud 9, and now it's really time to focus on the relationship and things of that particular nature, and you begin to run after your passion, you look up and you're on two opposite ends of the spectrum. You don't want that. It's a painful thing to have spent that amount of time together. And that's not to say that love is gone or anything of that particular nature. It's just you're so far away and so disconnected from each other that you're not able to amplify each other at all. And that's something that we all have to literally work on.
I think that happens in marriages in general. I was married, 15 years. Great marriage. We were friends. Like, we were real friends. We had 5 children together. And through the process, we were high school together. Like, we were young, love, and all of that. But through the process, what happened was, as the 7 years, because every 7 years you're going through a growth spur, you're developing, you're growing. That's from, like, for real. That's a real thing. As he grew and developed, and I grew and developed as a mother, because remember, we had the children during these times, life was still going on, moving. We forgot to bring each other together along this process. That's how we got to 15 years, and maybe he didn't know me like he thought he did, or I didn't know him, like, or we were at that pendulum where it was like we just wasn't vibing like we was vibing before. And then you try to go back, and a lot of times, like I said, couples that's been together a long time, as I know, you can take it all the way back and say, you know what, I seen where we kind of grew apart way back then when he would start taking the trips, and let's say, like, I wasn't always on the trips, and there came more and more trips, and then I became uninterested in going. You understand? Whether we both meant it or not, the energy was being put in that way. So again, it just really, everything, I mean, there's so many ways you can look at it and, figure out where you can do better, but going into the future, we're telling other people who might not be experiencing or know what it is.
Yeah.
These are signs. This is a sure way that if you don't join together now and make sure your partner's about what you're about, tag them along, take that time out, even though you've been working all day and you don't feel like explaining your dang method one more time. Explain it to her one more time. so that you kind of pulling her along too, so y'all like this. Or even her, she might be like he said. There are situations where the woman is you know what I'm saying, she running stuff because she's in that position, you know, and she might have to pull him. She comes home from work, she's in a different realm of work than him, and he might not understand it. She got to take time out too. Like, do I feel like taking time out with him? Okay, don't lose him. Keep hold of them. Take that time out and spend that time with that relationship and pull each other up to each other's space and level. That's like that hindsight stuff.
Exactly.
You know, so.
I think me and Lee were talking about it last night. One of the things is that the more you go through the process, the clearer your vision and the clearer the direction becomes. So it makes it easier to be able to explain these things. Some of y'all are not putting in the work and trying to explain the direction that you're going, and you can't even see it clearly. If you can't see it clearly, what makes you think the person that you're trying to explain it to is going to be able to see it clearly? You're just not at all. And so take the time out to put in the work. I know I was super excited when I got home. When I came home, all the kiddos ran up on me, or not, even the little baby. Little Shamar ran up on me, gave me a hug, hugged my leg, and just before he hit me and then tried to run off, so I chased him.
Oh, that's love right there.
So I chased him, but you know, when I walked into my room, the energy and stuff just felt, it was different. You know, and then when I started looking around, I looked at my wife's mirror and I see all these affirmations. You know what I'm saying, that's going around the mirror, and I'm like, this is it right here. This is what I was talking about and arguing about years ago, in reference to us doing. You know what I'm saying? Cleaning out the closets. And as men, what I'm gonna say to you is this, right? We need to take the first step. We need to take the first step, because if our women see us cleaning out the closet, getting rid of the skeletons and pushing the elephants and stuff out of the room, guess what they're gonna do? The exact same thing. And the crazy part about it is this is not something this is a me journey. Can it be a you and I journey? It very much so can. But what I feel, what I believe is that when you make it a you and me journey, we create crutches. And it kind of minimizes our ability to operate in our fullness. Because if I help you through the journey, we'll be successful at it. But the last thing that I want is for you to feel like the only way for you to be successful is for me to be there helping you.
I know, that's right, that for real.
For me to be there helping you. I don't want to be that crutch. I don't want to be that crutch whatsoever. And so, it's like I talked about on the way here, or not. I'm not that surgeon. That surgeon is the universe. That surgeon is the Most High, or whoever it is that you call on as a higher power. That's the surgeon. What I can do is I can hold your hand in the midst of the surgery. I can sit in the waiting room if I can't be in there. But it's going to have to be you, along with the universe, the Most High, whoever it is that you call on, as a higher power to go through that process. And the thing about it is you're going to come out so much stronger because you know you did this thing on your own. You did this thing on your own. And I know it sounds scary, but guess what? When you was going through those things, it was on your own. It was on your own.
I'm going to share a story real quick. Okay.
Go ahead.
I remember the first time my husband, my first husband, when he got married, right? The first time he got married. And I remember, and I'm going to be honest, this is like dead honest, I had 4 children, and I was pregnant with my 5th one. And he was going to Morocco, and he was going to go because we had a plan. We all were going to go over there. We had passports for all of us, and we were going to go learn the language and just integrate into just the communities. We had barter and trade here. We had businesses and stuff, so it was just a real good move for us. Plus, we were going to expand the children's vocabulary. We're traveling the world. you know, and for African Americans and Hispanics, that's a big deal
Mm-hmm.
to get a whole family out of the community, you know, to show them internationally something big, right?
Yeah.
So, but I remember me and him we were friends, but the process was so wearing on both of us, the process of it. Because there's the good and the bad. There's always both sides, but it's not really bad if you look at it, depending on how you look at it. But I remember how hard that was for me. Like there was the first when he first flew over there, and the first night I couldn't even get out of bed. Like I cried the whole night. Now mind you, I've been with this man my whole life. Like he's the only one. I've had 4 kids. I'm pregnant with my 5th, and we decide, because ultimately I stayed. So we decide, let's build our family and extend it, and this is how. So it was really hard. So at the end of the day, so we decided, you know. So anyway, long story short, I'm sick. I can't even get out of bed. Like I'm devastated because I know he's getting ready to get married in a couple hours, and my kids are all running around, and I can't even function. Like I can't, because I'm so hurt, and I'm like, how am I gonna do this? At that moment, it took a couple days, like for real. I had some family and friends come and like lift me up, like you're gonna be okay, like even come and cook for the kids, because it was rough like that, kid. I love this man, like that's all I knew. That's all I knew, you know, was this man. So that's all I knew. So anyway, long story short, we he got married, whatever. I picked myself up, and I had that all moment where it was just me and God, right? It was me and God, and I was in a position where I felt destituted. And I just cried to him. And at that moment, I felt an exchange of an awakening or a relationship that I had never understood. And at that moment, I realized that I had placed my husband in place of God in my life.
Ooh.
And God broke that.
That's dangerous.
Oh, you know, this is what happens though.
Mm-hmm.
We as women do it by default sometimes. And that's why polygamy is important in our journeys, because it'll break that real quick. Because at the end of the day, it's me and the law. It's me and God. I know that with everything in my being. So whether a man walks in my life or not, at any moment in time from now on, I'm not bothered. And I feel that. So what I'm saying is that I will at any moment in time exchange any world relationship, except for the children, my children, God please don't test me, but exchange any relationship in this world for the relationship I built with God, for that sacrifice. And that's the truth of it.
Man.
That's the truth of it. I sacrificed the relationship that I could have worldly, and now I got one that's unexplainable that I can go in. I mean, you all know my own energy. You know my energy.
Yeah.
All you do. And it's not me like woo woo woo. This is me speaking my truth. So those are the type of things that happens along the journey when you say, I want to be about something better. And it's beautiful because I have experiences I will never share with anybody. That it's only because I made that exchange that I have. So I don't know. That was, you know.
I know our comments are blowing up right now. I
Yeah,
see all y'all in there right now. We're not we're not ignoring y'all. We're not ignoring y'all. I definitely appreciate them. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. We're gonna get to them or not. Y'all just have to understand the energy that is flowing right now. I mean, what I would like to say about this process is that it's different from any other. You know, you can go to church on the weekend or wherever it is that you go. You can have someone lay hands on you, pray over you, and things of that particular nature. But there's nothing like that one-on-one that you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
That one-on-one and literally watching the Most High or the universe, whoever it is that you call on, help you sift through the hurt and help put yourself back together. It's nothing like it.
Mm-hmm.
Rika said, "Man, I want to sit and talk with you, with you, Queen."
Oh, sis, you know we having our day. 9:38. I was born a.m.
Hey, real talk, though. Real talk. Not to get off subject, we're looking at going back to Club Tip, and I think this is gonna be something healthy. or whatnot, something healthy. That's scam likely again, huh?
They own me today. I mean, I'm saying we called that energy.
Oh man, that's gonna be
We
something.
called that energy up.
Something definitely healthy. Hey, look though, you already know what it is. We gotta pay a few bills.
That's fun.
Gotta pay a few bills. We're gonna come back though, and we're gonna close this out. So give us about 5 minutes. We're gonna pay a few bills. We're gonna put the court into a quick recess, and then we'll be right back. All right, the king has spoken. See y'all in a few.
3, 2.
And we are
Hair
back.
flying, Lord. Hair flying, break.
We are back. The King's Court is officially back in session. We don't have too much time, but I do want to take a look at some of these comments because the comments have been lit right now. You already know. We'll pick things up in the King's Court. If you're not a part of that group, make sure you join it so that we can continue these conversations and keep it going. Let's see. Comments do we have in here that we can address real quick? Rika said, I finally finished the last chapter of the book, King. It gave me a much better understanding on so many different levels. Thank you. You are very much so welcome. All praises to the Most High. That is literally what it is that we are looking for. Is change.
And I also want to say that she also said something that was kind of important too that I wanted to say is that Rika was saying she's been doing her own research on units, and it can be a beautiful thing if you have an open mind. Now, that's all we're saying. We're just asking, just take a look at something outside of your normal. You understand? And look into somebody else's normal and see why they think it's normal.
Yep.
So we just appreciate that type of openness and willingness because this is a journey a lot of us don't know how it's going to end either. Like nobody's sure of anything, but you're sure of the truth. So that's how people keep going forward and know this is the right path because it feels good here.
Yep.
You know, a lot of times it's not always going to make sense up here, but you know, a lot of times for some of us, you know, and as women we do this a lot. We do the intuition, the heart, emotions, you know, and men y'all do the logic. That's why sometimes we just. But sometimes we use both. And that's a good day, but you know.
But that's the duality of it. Yeah. You know, because in essence, y'all are way more in touch with the emotional side of things than what we are. Or not. So when we function and operate together, it brings balance. And that's not to say that us men are not capable of dealing with our emotions, or women are not capable of being able to deal with things on a logical end, because we're very much so both capable of doing it. But when we're functioning and operating in duality, it's just a perfect balance, which is what it is that we're actually trying to get to. Because like I said in the book, ladies, we are going to need y'all to help us filter through a lot of the emotions that it is that we feel that we don't even truly understand. So it's just a beautiful thing. It's just a beautiful thing. Tabitha Penrose, the wifey, said, I'm going through this right now. I've had a real mental breakdown, but I have been honest with myself about what I am experiencing. And that's the biggest part of it. That's the biggest part of it, when you start literally reaching to that closet and forcing yourself to deal with those things that make you, right? And trying to clear out that closet. It's going to be an emotional roller coaster. For the most part, the wifey was with me in the midst of going through a lot of these skeletons and stuff. I mean, she was the one that the last skeleton that I was talking about in reference to my mom. I mean, she was there when I found out about it.
But King, isn't this the beautiful thing about partnership?
Yeah.
There was a time when that was you, so she carried you. I carried you, but come on, baby.
Yeah.
Come on, baby.
And I have to do the same.
And now it's just, and it's okay, but she's allowed to be vulnerable because you've allowed her that space. You understand, without her feeling like you're going to leave, you're going to abandon the family, you're getting a lot of the worries that women normally have now.
Yeah.
Because can you imagine those worries on top of trying to pull yourself together, pull your children together, and pay the bills, and that's what a lot of people deal with.
Yeah.
So the fact that you all, that, and that again, like you said, that can be experienced on so many different levels for different people in different relationships.
Yeah.
No one's ever gonna have the same relationship with everybody.
Yeah. I know.
So that's healthy.
I don't have no choice but to give her the utmost honor and respect.
Mm-hmm.
And because even in that particular moment, I cried like a baby. I cried like a baby. She allowed me to be naked and unashamed, and didn't view me any differently, which is exactly what it is that we as men have been asking for and are looking for. You know, and although she, you know, like I said, she's not the surgeon. She's not the one to help me get through that thing. She was basically there to allow me to help me process, everything, and it's very much so appreciated. Even this past week, you know, I was busy than a mug. I probably can count on one hand how many times I was able to call the family during that particular time, and it's something that I've been trying to get us prepared for, and man, it was handled with grace. It was handled with grace, and it's very much so appreciated. And you got to show nothing but gratitude for it. Miss Yolanda said before you want to do the unit between man and woman, get educated, do your research. Exactly. That's what it is that we're saying. Do your research. Once you finish researching yourself, research what it is that you're actually trying to do. Don't come into this thing thinking that it is that you know everything and just have a clear understanding of what it is to do, because I assure you, whatever it is that you're thinking is going to be the complete opposite. It is going to be the complete opposite. Rika said, I recently found out about 6 of my family members are units, and I had no clue, but you got to have an open mind, Frank. Wow.
My brother, you know, has 2 families. He's had 2 families for about 19 years now, 18 years. And it's not weird, it's just, he's honored 2 women and took on the responsibility of 2 women and 2 families, literally. And he has a lot of sense. He got a whole bunch of kids like me, but he, you know, he takes care, you know, he does his thing and he takes care of his families.
And Rika said that it's a must in reference to the research, because what did she say? Because some people want to use it as a playground.
And then you gotta
Improper use.
Facts.
Improper use.
Facts.
And that is what it
and
is.
abuse it.
Yes.
And abuse the people in it.
Yes.
So then you damage you hurt people. So why we keep hurting people?
Yeah. I gotta put the crown back.
Okay. Oh my goodness, King. You messed it up.
Oh, man, I'm slipping.
But no, that's 100% right. Hurt people.
Yeah, that's the thing. We're not out here we've caused enough hurt. We've caused enough hurt.
Now, we're not even propagating polygamy or polygyny or any of that.
Mm-hmm.
We're propagating what works in your house that makes you a healthy family.
Exactly.
To someone else and your children or their children that you might be raising. There's so many different things that we hold as families. We're talking about that. We're talking about the core. We're not talking about anything, you know, that's not really, it's significant, you know, all of that's significant, but at the end of the day, we're trying to figure out, let's fix the core first.
Yes.
And then kind of branch out.
Yes. I'm gonna throw this disclaimer out there though. You know, because we getting very, very close to the point where us as men we're going to give y'all our truth. And what I'm gonna say, ladies, is that I need y'all to brace yourselves. Need you to brace yourselves, okay? Because this is going to be one of the hardest things that we have ever done in our existence.
He said it.
I'm so serious. This is going to be the hardest thing that we have ever done in the existence of manhood.
Is tell us the truth and how you feel.
No, it's more than
Okay,
just telling the truth.
I know, but
It
I'm
is
just
giving
saying.
you our truth. It is going to be one of the hardest things ever done.
Well, we're going to bear with you. We're going to hang in there with you while you go through
brace yourself.
this hardship.
Yes, I
that's
need y'all to
right.
brace yourself because when we
Okay.
do this, one thing I will say is going to be liberating for both of us.
Oh, it already is. I mean, if I hope, you know what, I wish we would have did? I wish we would have started like a journal of the journey so people could jump aboard and like
Yeah.
join us.
It's
join
not
the
too late,
process.
It's not too late.
You know, like I don't know, like maybe all of us read a chapter. I don't know, or do something, but you know, like just jump in it with the process with us and what we're trying to do. Those
The
interested.
journey's not over.
Yeah,
No.
I mean, I'm sure it
We
just
can start
started
it.
and all that, but
We
I'm
can
just
start
saying, you know, I don't know, something to connect where, you know, as we go through things, other people are gonna be experiencing stuff out there as well. We wanna know.
Yes,
I mean, I'm interested in people's experiences now. I think since my son-in-law, I was just telling me and my daughter were just talking yesterday, and we were talking about my son-in-law Christian who passed away. I think about 3 weeks, no, maybe not a month ago now. So I think we've been a month without him. God rest his soul. He taught me how to listen, not just want to reply, but listen. So
that is huge.
yeah, I just thought that was significant.
That
So
is
now I
huge.
just, you know what I mean, I be wanting to listen to what people gotta say now.
And it's a great quality to have.
Yeah.
It's
It
a
comes
great
with sacrifice. See, that's
Yes.
what I'm saying. People see the finished product, but they don't see.
It's hard for
All
Capricorns
of
like
that.
us because we like to talk.
quality.
And
I
it's a
talking?
scientific fact. If you're talking, you physically cannot hear or
Yeah,
listen.
yeah, exactly. So I'm going against my own nature.
Because me too, yeah. I
Hey,
gotta
look
learn
at
to
that.
shut up sometimes and just
I know I just do
listen.
that too. Yeah, true.
Well, big shout out to the mosquitoes out south. I'm still scratching.
I'm good.
I got bit on places. I was like, is that a pimple? No, that's a bite.
Yeah,
I'm good,
feeling
honestly,
over here
I'm good.
scratching right now.
Yeah, but we had a good time though. It was well worth it.
Very much so.
And like you said, the healing begins within because I have a bunch of brothers I want to bring to you that are utterly broken. Like broken, but
We
I
like
can't
those
help
ones.
him or them until I help myself.
But we
Exactly.
like those ones, so come on, because that was us.
Exactly. I don't think people realize that. And I think it's because society has taught us to be so self-centered that we don't realize how many lives are actually attached to our own. And our healing helps bring other people healing.
Kevin
So-
Bacon's 6 degrees of separation. We're all still connected by
Yes.
one person.
Yeah.
You go down the line, you go, oh, you know this
I'm
person?
about to watch
Oh,
that
wait,
movie
wait,
again.
you
What
know
is
this
it called
person?
again? Because I remember
6
that.
degrees of separation.
But you know
with
when
Kevin Bacon.
when you're lifting veils, different things now look and watch are different now. So I want to watch that.
Like when people lift layers of their family, they sometimes find they had a famous person or a historic person
No, I
in their
do.
family
I
history.
did
and
on
it's-
my father's side. got
it's
a few.
about communicating with others.
But to give us
We're a
some.
closed off society,
I
no
do.
longer neighborly. You move into your neighbor next door, don't talk to me, don't bring me that pie, I don't want to know you. Stay on your side, I stay on my side.
Exactly.
Except down south.
We gotta get away.
That's more of a Colorado thing because that's what Netta wants to move down there for. She found peace and happiness within the people, being nice to her. We're used to hearing Colorado people are rude as hell.
You can go anywhere and have a conversation. We was in.
Literally.
I was talking to everybody. I didn't care. I was just talking, doing what I wanted.
Went into the gas station and literally a whole full blown conversation. And the thing about it is, you got people in line and everything else, and even the
Nobody's
people
even
in line,
rushing. Yeah,
no,
they okay with it.
no.
I'm looking like, oh man, because we wanted to go fast sometimes and move quickly, but you know, God is so good. It was a good trip. We
Yeah,
did all
people,
of
this was a 25-hour drive. There and back.
it. For real, that's how
And
far we
then
drove.
the states we traveled to in between, going from Virginia
We
to
stopped.
South Carolina, back
We didn't
and
even
forth
count
and
in
all
that
this.
time.
Yeah.
We was
it
in there, and we only spent a little bit of time.
Oh, I
like, doing
calculated
anything.
on my van, there was 4,300 miles put on it.
Oh, we was,
Ooh.
oh, I am. We was driving, boy. So
Ooh.
it was well worth it, though.
Put in work.
We put in work.
Very much so. And we just getting started.
It was
We just
worth
getting
it.
started.
100% worth it. I'm broke as hell. I'm gonna be paying on credit cards for a while, but it was worth it.
Yeah.
Hey, you and me both. I think I spent about
A lot.
1,500 more than what I actually projected. So Yeah, I got some work to do. Y'all come, the jerseys I was
Hit
talking
the
about.
listen. Can I be the man right here? That's what y'all need to do. Tap in. That's how we support each other in the community.
Yeah.
Come check us out.
Tap
Club
in,
Tilt and
grab
Grill.
those books and
Yeah.
give them to people that are around you that you know what I'm saying you don't even know might need them. Actually, you know what we're doing too. A friend of mine is in prison and he was saying that he wanted to read some of it. I was talking about the book. Maybe we'll get donations where people donate money and we'll donate a certain amount of books and send them to him. He can hand them out. And they can have their own discussions and start healing inside the prisons.
That's too
I mean,
easy.
I don't know. You know,
And
like tap in somebody
and
interested
because
in that.
they're soft cover books, they can be sent to the penitentiary. Because I used to send.
You can't send
books-
those
I used to
guys.
send books to my brothers,
You only get
and a lot of times
You
they
can't
have
do
to be
all
sent direct
So
from
this
a
guy,
company. So people could go on here, go to Amazon, wherever it's sold. You can buy them and send them to people in prison.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I used to buy books for.
But that's
inmates
what
all
I'm
the
saying.
time.
So we're always looking for something positive to do. Put back into our communities. Support, black and brown businesses, minority businesses, any businesses. But support the ones in your community that are, trying to produce good things. Can I be the man? If we can send some books out to the prisons or somebody doing something like that, let's connect.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Tap into the audience that needs you.
If
That's
if you know like I know, we'll go to the prison.
yeah.
I have
that's
no
it.
issue. I'll go out there.
Actually,
sit
you know what?
down.
Let's find a chaplain or something to see because they do bring people in. So anybody out there that does that chaplain work, tap in with us, and somebody else, and I know they let people in to talk and stuff. So that might be something we're able to do as a radio. We can do a documentary in the prisons
Yeah, you ain't never lied.
and get the book.
You ain't never
Oh,
lied.
that's exciting, and we do it for the women as well.
Yeah.
18 going into the prisons. Tanker's ready for him too. I feel good going in with Tank. I'm gonna let y'all know that right now.
I'm talking about being connected to people. My 18 brothers, man. It is, I have brothers in there that I've known for all my life, like since kindergarten. Shout out to my man David. I plan on getting with you a little later on. And then I have brothers in there that I've only known for a couple of months, but you wouldn't be able to tell. You would not be able to tell, and I just love the way they embrace people, and that is it. I think the scary part about it is that um, to announce me as being the head, the leader, that's scary to me.
I was like this.
Maybe it's the
I was like this, and they said, no, I'm just like.
Man, that's scary to me. The responsibility within itself is a lot, but I'm humbled at the same time. Because I've never looked at it like there was a leader or anything of that particular nature. I just looked at it like a bunch of strong men coming together, functioning and operating, doing what it is that we're supposed to do. So, I mean, I'm humbled, I'm scared, I'm some every doggone thing, but I love each and every last one of my brothers and the growth. 420 got pulled in like on nothing with the swiftness, and literally, I'm ready for y'all ladies to reciprocate that. Miss Lady, yep, I'm looking at you. You said it. I'm gonna hold you to it. I'm gonna hold you to it, but it is definitely needed. It's definitely necessary. So, man, I don't even want to get off the air, but we gotta make room for what?
Coffee and cream. I think we have time. We'll see if Gaddafi comes rolling in here.
Yeah, but I'm just excited about the direction that we're going. I'm excited about everything, and there is nothing like doing what it is that you actually love to do. And I get a double dose of it because I get to come here and talk to y'all at least two, which is about to be 3 days a week, or none. And then I get to work with the kids in the evening at the gym. It's just so much. It's just so much, and we're not even talking about BBOC. That right there, that is my baby. So, just the Most High, the universe, putting us in a position to be able to do what it is that we love to do, in the manner in which we're doing it is great. It's great to me. It's great. Like I said, I love each and every last one of y'all. I appreciate it. Matter of fact, can I take a second and kind of run through give y'all an understanding of how all of this actually came about.
Yes.
Okay, so I met Lady in the mall. In the mall, I was about to do a BBOC presentation. I was in the mall, just promoting. Came across a guy, I can't remember his name. His wife owned a particular shop, and I was in there, and a lady ended up coming in, and we was literally talking about all the stuff that BBOC is about. I passed her a flyer, but I knew she wasn't coming. It wasn't time for her to come. It wasn't time for her to come at all. So I met her literally about 2 years ago, or not. I remember, she don't remember, which is fine. But the boxing gym is what brought us back together. What brought us back together was literally getting prepared for nationals that ended up being postponed. We went and did an interview at what was it at the time, 95?
98.5.
98.5.
Blazing 98.5.
Yeah, Blazing 98.5. We came there, we did an interview.
I had a morning show.
And the lady was supposed to interview us. She didn't even do it. She was too busy.
Yeah, I was actually. Oh, I'm sorry about that. But I had somebody else do it. So
Yeah, it was straight.
I think it was Lady V.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Lady V who actually did that interview for me. So
yeah, so afterwards, because I didn't want to take any shine from the gym. It was the gym's moment. But I ended up talking to I think it was Amanda. I talked to Amanda and I told her a little bit about the book and things of that particular nature. And she was like, "No, we're gonna bring you back on the show."
And at that point we were at 95.7 the slide, and I was actually running a good portion of it. So we were able to.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't really even know you. I didn't even remember you then.
That's
I mean,
fine.
no, not like
That's
like
fine.
that. I mean, can you know what I meant?
No, it's good.
Okay. Yeah, so it wasn't like that. I'm just always running into people. So when we booked you on the show and they said you were coming, we were really focused the fact that you were already in the community, already teaching kids, already. So we were, basing off of that. I think it was like the celebration of Black fathers or African American fathers.
That was the second time actually.
Oh, okay.
That was the second time. That was the time y'all actually brought me back, because what happened was I wasn't even supposed to be there. I was supposed to be Coach Troy with his son, Troy. They were supposed to be there, but he ended up calling me and like, "Look, I don't have time to do this. I need you to fill in." It's like, you do the same thing with your family, and you have more kids than what I do, so it's the story is even better. So what ended up happening was I came. But the other coaches and stuff that was supposed to be there ended up not showing up. I told them, you know what, don't worry about it. I got more than enough to talk about. We can do this whole show. Just us. Just us. And that's exactly what it was that we did. And from there, I was able to kind of introduce the book. Now, I don't know what happened in between there or whatnot, but at some point, you decided to go ahead and start your own. And I ended up coming back on the Women's Wednesday, where I had the opportunity to really, really talk about the book. And then I came back and I met with you, and when you put the post up about having a podcast, when you put that up, I came back and I sat down, tried to be as professional as I could be, brought my little dossier. The book it hadn't really been out yet. I gave you the opportunity to read the first chapter and all the other good stuff, and you was excited about it. I talked about the podcast and all the other good stuff, and it just went from there. And here we are. So just watching how the Most High, the universe, works to get us to this particular point. We talking about 2 years in the making. 2 years in the making. And the thing about it is, the crazy part is that 2 years ago, I didn't even know it was going to be this.
But the crazy part is the patience. I look at you sometimes, I be like this, I do not understand where his patience comes from. I'm like this. King, I'm gonna be hyper and all this for both of us then. I mean, his patience is, and then it's so funny because as we're learning, we're all learning each other because we're all working in an environment. You start knowing people's personalities, and when I get excited, you gotta know I'm excited. Like, I take it to 10. Okay? But when King's excited, like, we're all learning each other, it's like, okay, like today, you know, he was like, just norm, like this, just calm. And he's like, I'm so ecstatic right now. And I'm looking like, okay, like, like, this is the pinnacle, okay, like, all right. But if I was ecstatic, like, I'd be like, oh my God. Like, I'm like, yeah, I got something to tell you. So it's as we learn at each other, like the patience is always gonna come from me for you because that kind of stuff is just so amazing to me. I'm like, he's like, I'm ecstatic right now, and I believe him. Like, yeah, I need to do that. But I'm just, so I think that's funny, you know.
It definitely is. It definitely is. As a matter of fact, I skipped some because we ended up doing an event together.
What?
You never forgot the event we did together for the kids. We was raising money and all that other good stuff, and I think that was the first time you actually had the opportunity to hear me speak at my gym.
Oh yeah.
Remember, and I told her, I was like, you're gonna learn something different about me.
Oh yeah, you did. Yep, you sure did. And we did that whole event, and we got the kids to go, and it was successful.
Yeah, it was.
And then we done like 3 other events now. We did the children's awards.
Yeah. Oh, which was amazing.
Children's awards was shout out. That was awesome. Shout out to the city of Colorado. Shout out to Jen and Dee, DeAndre Smith. 719 Nightlife and One Body Entertainment. You all made it happen. Literally bring Juneteenth to the city. Now we got it every year.
Yep.
So, and we will be looking for kids in the community for next year's awards. Children's ceremonies, a youth award ceremony to be handed out of the children in our community, not minority, but just children in our community that are going above and beyond and doing great things.
Exactly.
You know.
Well, you already know we got some great things coming ahead.
Mm-hmm.
I think for me the biggest thing is that rite of passage. That you're gonna hear me talking about that every day until it actually happens, and I'm gonna put everything. Y'all think I put some energy into this last week? All right, I'm gonna put.
Well, you got some good speakers already.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, thank you already to your son-in-law.
Oh yeah, he's about to bring the fire.
Because
Excited.
I cannot wait to hear everything it is he has to say. Honestly, I can't wait to sit down and have a conversation with him.
And I'm going to give you a little of my son's background because it's impressive. His name is Mustafa Briggs. That's my son-in-law. And in the Islamic world, he's, because of what he's learned about African American history, Islamic history, and he shares it. And then just African-centric history in general. Mm-hmm. He shares it and how it all breaks down into the community and where Islam fits in it. And he's literally considered a scholar or considered really, really high in, in Islam. And he's going to be joining you. So, he has actual credentials, and I'm going to get all of those. I just thought I don't want to get him wrong. But that is a blessing. Yeah. And he's very young, and he's determined. So.
And I like that. Because we get to touch multiple generations. So I'm going to tell y'all just a tad bit of my vision for this thing, right?
And he lives in Africa, so there's a bigger...
Yeah.
They don't even, oh my goodness, I forgot about, oh yeah, it's all coming back. Yeah, that's good.
One thing, this is going to be an annual event, okay? And I hope and pray that y'all ladies will take for my lead and do the exact same thing for y'all, because this is important for y'all coming into y'all womanhood just as it is important for us as men coming into our manhood. Right, so my vision for this is, and yes, ladies, y'all will be invited. Matter of fact, I need y'all there because we need y'all there to accept us into our manhood. Right, so what I envision is at a minimum 5 speakers. We already got 2, your son-in-law as well as myself, so we got to go and grab 3 more. And we're going to be speaking directly to manhood and our responsibilities, not just to ourselves, but to our families, to our communities, to this nation as a whole. And the way I see the setup is we're going to have all the men in the center. And ladies, I want y'all to engulf us. What I mean by that is all of y'all going to be to the left of us, to the right of us, and behind us. And when this ceremony is over, is over, of course, I'm gonna go into my whole "can I be the man" spiel. Well, we need y'all to accept us. We need y'all to accept us, and I know it's gonna be something great. I know it's gonna be something powerful. I'll make sure we do it outside this time. That way, we won't have to worry about no lights going out or anything of that particular nature. Or whatnot. So, I just know it's gonna be something powerful.
I'm down.
We got to. We got to. We gotta do it.
Alright.
We gotta do it.
I got a whole lot to say.
That's what's up. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull on my 18 brothers, right? And every city that they are in, we're gonna make this something that happens year round simultaneously across the nation. Is us fully being able to get grafted into our manhood. And if all things goes well, Queen, like we talked about, maybe just maybe we might be able to send a few of the kids over to Africa to experience.
It's not even if, it's when.
Yeah.
Because it's all there.
Yeah.
It's literally is, so.
Yeah.
I mean, down to the village they're gonna be at and where they're gonna stay comfortably and hopefully having some service.
I just know the first time that they go, I'm going to.
Hopefully we're going to, no, I'm gonna say, we're actually gonna go before that. No, seriously, honestly, we're gonna go before that, cause obviously I have
I got
family
a
there.
passport with 0 stamps.
And I got my second one that's got 1 million, so we're gonna go, but we could go immediately and say, and go and experience for like a week or two, just so we can know what the kids are gonna be doing, where they're gonna be located. And, because, I'm fortunate enough, my son-in-law has family that's, politicians and has been in the government and for a long, long time. They got, family generational wealth, so we'll be comfortable and, experiencing Africa. Yeah, that's just gonna be.
And it's not like I haven't been to Africa before, but Africa is so big.
I've never been.
It'll take you a
to
lot
any
of
those
time.
places.
A lot of time to try and cover it all. So
I just hate the flight. It's good. My daughter told me yesterday, because we were talking about it briefly, and she was like, but Mom, you're going to be on a flight for like 12 hours, 13, 14, 15 hours.
Yeah.
Like that. I started sweating. Oh, Lord.
it ain't nothing to it, man. Get you some good
Serotonin
music.
gummies. Go to sleep.
Goodness. I haven't been on that type of trip in so long, since
When
Morocco.
when I was working overseas, I was back and forth. I took those trips like it was nothing. And some people experience jet lag. No jet lag whatsoever.
I think
off the plane, I'm ready to go. Let's get it.
I had jet lag in Pakistan. When I would fly to Pakistan, I had jet lag. Everywhere else, like, when I went, I didn't have jet lag nowhere else.
Yeah.
Maybe because that was like 18 hours.
So
22 hours.
and that's one of the biggest things, and we're gonna have some other things in between there. But for me, that's the next biggest thing that we're gonna be working towards is that piece of it. Right
After
there.
the rite of passage.
Yep.
Oh, it's during that process.
Nah, after the rite of passage. So I'm just saying the rite of passage is the next big thing that my focus is on. And don't get me wrong, we got other things going on in between there. The 16th of this month will be in Atlanta.
Do we have a link to set up for people who want to donate to the cause?
That's a good idea.
We need to create one.
Please.
People that want to help, maybe send these kids to
Can-
Africa, or all of us, or whatever. Help with the show, everything.
Yeah,
Definitely, there are people out here that's making this money. We run into them all the time that always want to support us, and we appreciate that. This would be a good opportunity, for real. It's a good idea, 420. Because we definitely need it. Bills got to be paid even when we traveling.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this stuff ain't free.
No, it sure ain't. Sure
Yes, bro, get a passport, sis. Get a passport. Look, you with me, so we good. You
Yeah,
good.
get a passport before the
We
United
about to have
States
fun.
stops allowing it.
Oh my God, my daughter, she already got a spot for us. Let's go. I mean, your sister gonna be for everybody. What you mean? We got no way.
Oh,
Let's go.
I've been meaning to get a hold of your other friend in Sierra Leone,
Oh.
who's now in government.
Yep. See, so we got connections, but no, really, this one is gonna be fun. So, Rika, I'm serious, girl. My daughter, she's already asking me to go over there. So I just don't want to fly by myself, but I definitely. Tickets are like, I think 1,300 round trip right now, 1,500, nothing. Altogether 18 plus tax. Okay, well, no. I'm just saying, we can accomplish it. We put it out there.
But we put it out there, so we put it out there, so God willing, He'll bless us all to go.
Exactly. Thank
Yeah,
you. So,
that's what we
but
gotta
we
do.
do have a nice spot, and we will be comfortable, because God is good. So.
Okay, so we have a question that was sent directly to me.
Yes.
Peter, if you are still watching, just throw a 1 or something of that particular nature into the group, into the live feed right now. If you're still watching, I seen you jump on. I don't know whether you're still watching or not. I can't see that much.
And it doesn't get you got messages I don't have. I don't know why not.
Nah, he sent it to me directly.
Oh.
Yolanda gonna put in a 1. I said Peter.
You're like I'm here to.
Oh, is that because I said or whatnot? Because I did tell them every time I say that, they'll put a 1 in there.
Oh, that's wonderful. You're working on that?
Yeah.
Oh, good for you. Good for you.
Got to.
I know I got to do this someday. And I need to be better in my life where I can ask for suggestions. It's okay.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, you know, look, we got the other half of my job I got to get to. My people is calling.
Yeah,
So I got to
already
go.
know what it is. Matter of fact, we went over long enough. We can go ahead and close this
We got
thing,
to.
y'all. Hey, look, we will be back at y'all on Tuesday, 8 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. We will be here, ready to get at it again. Really, there will be no the Wise Men edition this weekend. We're gonna take this time to get ready for the 10th, where we will actually make this. There it is. Yeah, actually.
And now we getting ready to do the other part of our
yeah,
jobs.
Yeah. So. The next time you'll see that show will be July 10th, and it will be here at its new time from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. We can't wait. There's a whole lot of stuff going. If you haven't already, Can I Be the Man? A letter from us to you. Go out there and get it. It's on book, ebook, as well as audio. As well as audio. You're going to want to jump out there. Get it. And for those of y'all that are finishing up the book, hey, reach out to me. I want to know what your thoughts are. Okay? If you don't want to put it out there for the public to see, hit me up via Messenger.
And if you finished it, maybe share it with someone who needs it.
Exactly. But as always, got to give a big shout out to the Frequency. I didn't do it earlier. And to thank the Frequency for giving me this platform to be able to come and talk with y'all. Of course, shout out to the lady of the building. This was a crazy day already to start with, and definitely none of this happens without 420. We definitely appreciate you, because I know them days that you was resting up, getting ready for this trip, we was in here struggling. But the good thing is, he has showed us exactly what to do. So
remember,
I would say show who kid, because I need them still here. I don't know. I'm not doing it.
Well, we gonna make it happen.
I'm not doing it.
Hey, look, it's been great.
See y'all Thursday.
Y'all.
No, wait. See y'all Tuesday.
We'll see y'all on Tuesday.
Be safe. Peace and
The
blessings.
King's
Good
Court is
vibes,
officially
energy.
out of session. The King has spoken. We out.